Guys, so today we are going to do this fancy vanilla cake. It's got a little heart in it. I'm really excited about it because I've always watched people make these type of things and I've always wondered how they do it, and I think I finally figured it out. So we're gonna give it a try and see if this works for me or not. Maybe it'll be an epic fail, but we'll see. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing to make this cake is you have to go ahead and make that inside little heart piece. So we're going to go ahead and make the loaf for that. So first thing I want to make sure I do is that I spray this loaf pan because I will forget. So I'm spraying it with some regular pan baking spray. And I've sprayed every corner because I think that that'll help me the best, I guess. I probably overdo it every time I do it. So the first thing's first, ooh, I'm glad I flipped this over because I was following the other directions. First things first is a cup of unsalted butter. She says to put it at room temperature. I have it partially melted because that's just the way my life is. So we're gonna go ahead and put this. We're gonna put butter and we're gonna put sugar. Butter and sugar until light and fluffy. So how much sugar do we need? We need a cup of sugar. So this is a half cup, so I'm just gonna get 2 of these. So here's 1, and here's 2. So let's go ahead and beat this until it is light and fluffy. Alright, so next is probably our eggs. Yep, then we're gonna add each of our eggs. It says to add them 1 at a time. She calls for 4 eggs. She calls for them at room temperature. I pulled them out probably about 10 minutes before I was ready to make this. So they were still a little chilled, but they'll work. So here's 1 egg. I'm gonna just put them back in here. She says to beat after every time, so sure. All right, so that looks pretty good. The next part, after we have the eggs, is to add in our vanilla extract and our salt. So it calls for 2 teaspoons of strawberry. Oh, it's so weird having a different type of extract. It took me a little while to find this because I've never baked with strawberry extract, and so this was new. In case you are wondering where you find it, you do find it in your regular spice aisle. I started by looking in the baking aisle instead, but yeah, top shelf of the baking aisle is most likely your best chance to find it. So 2, that smells terrible, like bad alcohol, like a cheap fruity drink. Anyway, sorry. So 2 of these, 2 teaspoons. Let's put that in there. And then I need a half a teaspoon of salt. So there's that. We will go ahead and mix this, and the next part after that is to go ahead and start adding in our coloring. Oh, no, we gotta add in flour first. So let's beat this and then we'll add in flour. All right, so then we're gonna add in 2 cups of flour. So here's 1 cup. I'm gonna blend in between this. So here is our other cup. It's definitely thick. So next, I believe, if I have it correct, is our food gel coloring, our food coloring. So she says to add in several drops. I didn't buy the drop stuff. I went ahead and bought your regular icing type stuff. So I hope this works just fine. We shall see. This stuff usually makes a mess and a lot of people don't prefer to use this. I think I'm just going to stab holes in it because it's not opening. there, that'll work. All right, so I assume she's calling for, she just says several drops. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add some. If you ever use this, a little goes a long way usually. And usually there's a lot more still left on it, so I like to stab several times into the mixture to make sure I got all the coloring off of that one. And never go back into this, because that's disgusting, because you want to keep using this. So the most sanitary way is to always use a new toothpick. Now I like using this because, like I said, a little went a long way. I honestly feel like this is the perfect color. I don't want to add any more. If you want it to be darker, I guess you could, but I would have used a darker shade if I wanted darker. But that color is literally what I was looking for, which matches pretty well on the thing. So I'm gonna mix it in one more time. All right, that looks beautiful. I'm really excited about that. So the next thing after that is to go ahead and put it in your loaf pan and bake it for 50 minutes at 350 degrees. Let's clear all that aside. I'm gonna put these in here. Let's slide this away. Give me a spatula. And let's go. So here we go. Oh, I tried to adjust so that I could actually see. Made a mess. All right, so this is gonna go in for 350, at 350 for 50 minutes. Helps if I turn on the oven. Okay, so the next part of this, first of all, we stuck the pink cake in the oven for 50 minutes. It stayed in there. It is done. I pulled it out. It sat in the pan for 15 minutes cooling, and then I flipped it over, and right now it is still on the counter cooling. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the cake that goes around this. So let's go ahead and get started. It's very similar to the last one. First thing I'm gonna do is spray my pan, because otherwise I will forget, and then we're gonna have a loaf that sticks to the pan. I know that's overkill, but that's just it. All right, so again, we have 2 sticks of butter. That's a cup of butter. And then we need, it doesn't go in that order, we need sugar, right? Sugar. I thought it was sugar next. Yep, sugar, and you beat it until it's light and fluffy, and I need 1 cup. And this is 2/3 cup, so I just need another third. I don't need a full. Perfect. So now we beat until it's light and fluffy. Voila. Good. But remember, next is our butter. Not our butter, our eggs. And you add eggs 1 at a time, it said. Move that out of the way. So here's 1. Alright, and then next is our vanilla and our sugar. And this calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Did I do 2 last time? Maybe I... Oh no, we had the strawberry. We didn't do vanilla. So just 2. There's 2. Alright, that's good to go. And then I need a half a teaspoon of salt. And there goes that. And then we blend. Alright, and so the next step is to go ahead and add in our flour. And this calls for 2 cups of flour. That's sugar. Flour. Okay. And here's 1. Alright, let's add on the other one. There's 2. Alright, so our batter is complete. It looks good. So we're gonna set this aside, and then we are gonna go straight into, I'm gonna put this over here. we're gonna go straight into actually cutting out our little shapes. So I'm gonna move all this behind me so it's out of the way and swap it. Oof. Here's this. Use that pan to put my shapes on. Actually, I'll probably cut on there. All right, so her instructions, I guess she didn't really give me instructions on how to do this. She says to cut your slices and then use your cookie cutter to cut the little hearts, and then you set it aside. And then you're supposed to prep that and then pour it into the pan. I think we got this. We'll figure this out. I'm gonna move it to this. So this is almost completely cool. So I'm gonna cut them probably about that big. Uh-oh, feels pretty hard. I'm really worried about the fact that this is gonna go back in the oven, like inside the cake. Yeah. That end piece is crunchy. Alright, so I'm gonna lay all these, I guess, down. I don't know what the best way to do this is. Sure. And then, oh, it is just barely the right size. There's gonna be some that it's not the right size. So let's push it down. I'm gonna take all the cake away. I'm gonna set it in here, because I know I'm not gonna eat all this cake. Oh, ta-da! This is gonna be so cool. I'm really excited about this. Ooh. This is easier than cookies. Oh, we gotta save that little piece. I guess right there works. I feel so fancy. If this actually turns out, I'll be so impressed with myself. And to get me off that soapbox. There's certain parts where I'm like, nah, this isn't gonna look the best. And then you get pieces like that and it looks great. So next, the way that I read her blog, doesn't say in the instructions how to do this, but it did show in her blog kind of how she did it. So I'm thinking the best way is going to be to put half of, oh, it's pretty solid. I'm gonna put a bottom layer, I think. This'll work. I'll put a small bottom layer, and then I'm gonna stick this upright. So like, yeah, that'll work. Oh, and she said to like leave room to put it in between. I don't know what the purpose of that is. We're just gonna stick it in there. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna turn out. Now I understand how people do like the little checkerboards. I think that's all the pieces I need. This heart looks better. Yeah. See, so it's staying. It doesn't look bad. So then you just dump the batter over top of it. Please stay. I feel like this batter should be more liquidy. Oh no. Alright, so let's scoop this little guy back in. Let's push him and cover. Oh no, you can see that part. Just thought this was gonna be easy. Yeah, you can see his little, it's okay. It'll be okay. Alright, so I'm gonna stick this in the oven. What does she say to do? She says you bake it for about an hour or until the inserted piece comes out clean. I'm gonna try 50 minutes because I don't want to kill it. There's already cooked cake inside. Shouldn't need it that whole time. And then you cool it on a baking pan. You cool it in that pan for 15 minutes. Then you flip it over on a wire rack. And then it wants you to turn it back upright to cool completely. So in the oven we go. Okay, so we're back. The cake is baked and ready to go. So now we move on to our next step, which is making the icing. So she calls for combining all of our ingredients in the bowl and then just mixing it, and then we're going to split it in half, and then we're going to go ahead and add in some food coloring. So the first thing she calls for is the egg. Is it egg whites? Yes, egg whites. Yeah, I'll put it in here. Nope, I gotta put it in here, yes. There's that. So let's do a little. There we go. We got an egg white. I don't know what the best way to do this is. Oh, not that way. This way. We're good. We're good. There's a little bit of white in there. I'll flip it. There we go. See, he's good. See, we got this. There, and I got the white part out. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and put a cup of powdered sugar in there. Pray that this doesn't go all over the place like powdered sugar usually does. Alright, we got a cup. So we're going to put that in there. Then we need a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar or tartar. So there's that. And then we need a teaspoon of vanilla. Is it gonna come out? There we go. Alright, and then we're going to mix this up, and then we'll split it in half, and then add some food coloring. And go around the sides. Make sure it's all really mixed. Oh, they even have it piped. I'm not going to pipe it. I'm just going to drizzle it. I'm not too concerned about that. So we're going to split about half. That's probably about half. And then we're going to add in some food coloring to one of the halves. There's that. So they have where you are putting it in a piping bag and you're drizzling it across, but from the picture it literally just looked like strokes. It didn't look like anything decorative. So I think I'm just going to grab a spoon and just drizzle it over top and make it look as fancy as I can that way. Here's that. I think I'm going to grab some white first. I think I'm just going to pour the white over top of it, and then I'm going to stripe it. That didn't go very far.
Filled the crevices.
Yeah, it filled
The valleys.
The only thing I really want to do this recipe because I wanted to try the hard inside. So the icing I'm not too like, ooh, it's got to be a certain way. Let me put these over so we're not dripping any more than we already did. I'm just thinking, just go like this. feet to me, that looks fine. I don't need to go crazy. Alright, so finished product is this. It runs everywhere. I'll go ahead and snap a picture of it and then I'm going to cut it. Alright, so I'm going to cut right here. I don't know if you're going to get a heart right there. Look! We got a heart!
Got something red in there.
No, that's definitely a heart! It looks so good! Alright, so we cut a slice.
Wow.
It's a perfect little heart. It looks great. Bam! I'm fantastic. Look at how amazing that is. So now we've got to try it, make sure it tastes good.
Need some milk. Got milk.
Alright, y'all. So we got our little heart cake. It's so stinking cute. And we're going to taste test, make sure it tastes good.
Nailed it.
It's a little dry. Like a bread. Dip it in the royal icing. Let's try a piece from the top.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's just a little dry.
These are hard. I find looking W.
I'm just excited that the hearts worked. Alright y'all, so thanks so much for tuning in. I'm really excited this worked out. Now I know how to add little shapes to my cakes, which will be super cool. It'd be really cool to do a round cake with like a bundt cake and stick them all around and do some sort of funky shape that nobody expects. So, yeah, this is really cool. I do think the recipe needs a little bit of work because it was a little dry. I've definitely had better cakes that weren't so dry. So maybe the inner one, make it that flavor and that type, and then do like a regular box cake around it, but then it might sink. So I don't know. I'm not a scientist or anything by any means. But anyway, thanks so much. I appreciate y'all for watching me. Definitely hit the like button and hit the subscription button so you see my lovely face next week. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.